Assalamualaikum to our lecturer, Madam Salamia. Today, our group will be presenting on membrane separation. Before that, I would like to introduce myself and my team members. My name is Nur Aiman Shoya binti Sulaiman, and my team members are Aziz Awatif binti Azizi and Nur Kistina binti Muhammad Azman. We are from AS2452B. Membrane separation process is a feat consisting of a mixture with two or more components are partially separated by semi-permeable membrane, where one or more species move faster than the other species. There are few characteristics in membrane separation process. First one is the two products are usually miscible. Next, the separating agent is a semi-permeable barrier. Lastly, a sharp separation is often difficult to achieve. Membrane separation is divided into two types of process, which are physical process and chemical process. There are four processes under the physical category, which are pressure-driven process, diffusional process, heat process, and electric process. In the chemical category, there are five other processes, which are supported membranes, liquid membranes, active transport, facilitated transport, and hemodialysis. So today we'll be focusing on diffusion process. Diffusion is a physical process that refers to the net of molecules, ions, atoms, and energy from a higher concentration region to a lower concentration region. Diffusion can only happen if concentration gradient is present. It usually happens in liquid and gas, as their particles move in random motion from place to place. Diffusion can happen on its own without having to be shaken or stirred. There are two types of diffusion, which are simple or also called as passive diffusion and the facilitated diffusion. Simple diffusion can happen without the assistance of protein carrier. Meanwhile, the facilitated diffusion happens with the assistance of protein carrier. We have chosen one application of diffusion in the industry, which is dialysis. What is dialysis? Dialysis is a process of removing waste and excess fluid from the body. It is a technique with the aid of using the distinction of their rates of diffusion to isolate molecules in a solution via a semi-permeable membrane. As an example, a dialysis tubing. Dialysis is required when kidney lost 90% of its efficiency to filter waste from blood. Dialysis will take over kidney's role to remove excess fluid and chemical from the body. This process may continue for months or years until the body responds to the treatments and kidneys are repaired. Now, we will move on to the principle of dialysis. Dialysis involves passing the patient's blood against a semi-permeable membrane with dialysis solution, or also known as dialysate, on the other side. There are three processes involved in removing waste products, which are passive diffusion, ultrafiltration, and convection. How a dialysis machine works? A dialysis machine works by pumping out blood of a patient, usually through an arteriovenous platula. Then, an anticoagulant is added in order to prevent the blood from clotting. Blood flow past the dialysate is separated by a semi-permeable membrane. Then, blood is pumped back into the body. However, dialysis should be seen as a temporary alternative to substitute the kidney's function until the kidney is repaired itself. There are two types of dialysis, which are hemodialysis and also peritoneal dialysis. So let's see some of the differences between these two. Firstly, hemodialysis gets rid of blood from a blood vessel, normally in the forearm. Meanwhile, in peritoneal dialysis, it uses the lining of abdomen to filter the blood. Next, hemodialysis cleans off the blood from the body, while peritoneal dialysis does not cleanse the blood outside the body. Hemodialysis is less flexible as is needed to be done at hospital. Meanwhile, peritoneal dialysis can be done almost at everywhere, which is more flexible. Next, we will see the advantages and disadvantages of dialysis, hemodialysis, and peritoneal dialysis. The advantages of dialysis are it can be carried out even at home and does not need to wait for a kidney donor. For hemodialysis, it can remove a maximum number of undesired solid. Peritoneal dialysis can be easily done at home, so it is not required to visit the dialysis center. The advantages of diffusion are diffusion dialyzer has a low processing functionality. Vascular access can also lead to infection and thrombosis. Meanwhile, hemodialysis brings disadvantages because the amount of food and fluid intake need to be restricted and some must be avoided. Lastly, peritoneal dialysis is quite burdensome as it needs to be done daily. Conclusion: the basic concept of membrane separation is widely used in many areas, especially in the biological and chemical process. Processes involved in membrane separation can be used as an alternative to conventional processing methods. Membrane separation process has also benefited us in many ways. With the aid of technology nowadays, this process has helped us a lot in our daily life. So that's all from us. Thank you. These are the references that we referred to while doing our study.